Did you know that police officers in New Jersey charged with official misconduct are jailed less often than non-officers? This shocking statistic raises serious questions about accountability in law enforcement. Today, we dive into the story of how one officer's actions sparked a massive lawsuit, shedding light on the broader implications for police accountability and justice.
The guidelines are clear. Public officials, including police officers, should face strict consequences for misconduct.
In April 2020, ProPublica sought data from New Jersey courts on everyone charged with official misconduct. However, due to limitations of their antiquated COBOL-based system and the complications of the COVID-19 pandemic, a comprehensive dataset was not available. Instead, ProPublica reached out to the 21 county prosecutors' offices. 19 of the 21 counties complied, providing records that account for 89% of the state's population. ProPublica also examined thousands of New Jersey news stories and analyzed millions of rows of court data. Between these sources, ProPublica identified 398 people accused of official misconduct from 2013 through 2017, including at least 118 law enforcement officers. ProPublica Investigation revealed that officers were charged more often than non-officers and were jailed less frequently. Even if all defendants with unknown outcomes were non-officers, officers would still have avoided jail sentences more often. These findings highlight a significant disparity in how justice is applied to law enforcement officers compared to the general public. In a world where power is unchecked, where authority silences dissent and justice turns a blind eye, who holds them accountable? This is Corruption Chronicles, where we pull back the curtain on police corruption, abuse of power, and the lives shattered in its wake. Did you know that officers who kill civilians are rarely prosecuted or even disciplined? The tragic case of Kawaski Trewick highlights this troubling reality. To understand why police are so rarely held accountable, let's look at Kawaski Trewick's story and what didn't happen to the officer who shot him. 2 years ago, Kawaski Trewick was alone in his Bronx apartment when NYPD officers responded to 911 calls about him walking through the building with a knife and a stick. Trewick, who had a history of mental health issues, had locked himself out, but got back in with firefighters' help. Officers Herbert Davis and Brendan Thompson found Trewick holding a knife and a stick. Despite Davis's attempts to de-escalate, Thompson fired his taser, enraging Trewick, who then ran towards the officers. Thompson shot Trewick, who died almost instantly.
The officers made several poor decisions. They could have answered Trewick's questions, waited for backup, or simply closed the door.
The NYPD's internal investigation cleared the officers of any wrongdoing. Despite video evidence and expert opinions highlighting their mistakes, no discipline was issued. The NYPD's conclusion is part of a pattern where officers face little to no accountability. This case, like many others, shows how the system often protects officers rather than holding them accountable. Kawaski Trewick's story is a stark reminder of the need for greater accountability in law enforcement. Share your thoughts on police accountability in the comments below. Imagine being a victim of police violence, only to find out that the officer responsible will never face a public disciplinary trial. This is the reality for many New Yorkers, and it's all due to a little-known authority called retention, used by Police Commissioner Edward Caban. Take the case of Briana Villafane. In the summer of 2020, she was protesting police violence in Lower Manhattan when officers charged into the crowd. One officer gripped her hair and yanked her to the ground.
I felt someone on top of me, and it was hard to breathe.
She recalls.
I felt like I was being crushed.
The Civilian Oversight Agency concluded that the officer's actions could constitute a crime. Briana was relieved, thinking justice would be served. But then Commissioner Caban intervened, using his retention authority to ensure the case never went to trial. Instead, he privately decided that the officer's actions were reasonable and necessary, and ordered no discipline. This is not an isolated incident. Since becoming Commissioner, Caban has used his powers to prevent dozens of officers from facing disciplinary trials, even in cases where the oversight agency found serious misconduct. Officers accused of using chokeholds, tasers, and batons against protesters have had their cases buried. Why does this matter? Because it undermines transparency and accountability. Victims are left in the dark, and the public is denied the opportunity to see justice served. Florence L. Finkel, a former head of the CCR RB, said it best. What the police department is doing here is shutting down cases under the cloak of darkness. We need to shine a light on these practices and demand accountability. If you believe in justice and transparency, share this video and let your voice be heard. Together, we can push for change and ensure that those who abuse their power are held accountable. Today, we're uncovering the troubling reality of Chicago's police reform efforts. Despite a federal court order and millions of taxpayer dollars, the city has made little progress in addressing police brutality and civil rights violations. Let's dive into why this is happening and what it means for the future of Chicago. In the 5.5 years since the Chicago Police Department agreed to a consent decree, there have been countless court hearings, meetings, and significant financial investments. Yet, the record of actual accomplishment is meager. The police have fully complied with just 9% of the agreement's requirements. Complaints about misconduct have risen, and many critical reforms remain unaddressed. Take the case of Portia Banks, whose brother Dexter Reed was killed by police during a traffic stop. Despite the tragic loss and clear evidence of aggressive policing tactics, meaningful reform has been slow and frustrating. Banks, like many others, is demanding urgent change. Why is progress so slow? A review by WTTW News and ProPublica reveals a lack of effective leadership and accountability. 6 superintendents and 3 mayors have failed to push the process forward. The City Council has not exercised its authority to oversee the police department effectively, and the court-appointed monitoring team has not demanded sanctions for the city's slow pace. Why does this matter? Because it undermines trust and accountability. The community's faith in the police is eroding, and the opportunity for lasting reform is slipping away. Surveys show a clear drop in confidence that police reform will have a lasting and positive effect. We need to demand accountability and push for real change. If you believe in justice and transparency, share this video and let your voice be heard in the comments below. Together, we can ensure that those who abuse their power are held accountable and that meaningful reforms are implemented. Because truth is a weapon more powerful than any badge. Together, we uncover the stories they don't want you to hear and fight for accountability, one truth at a time. If you stand for accountability and justice, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can shine a light on the truth and ensure no abuse goes unchallenged.